hardest thing?
Do put a price on it.
It's gotta be good. Hi guys, welcome to our living room. I'm Tiana.
I'm Chanel.
And I'm Soso. Hi.
And today we're just gonna chat with you guys again. Well, actually, we're gonna chat to each other.
Yeah.
And let you guys in on what we are talking about today. The first question I want to ask you guys is, what is the hardest thing that you've ever had to do?
You can start.
She's like, you go first.
You go first.
Most difficult thing I've ever had to do,
Yeah.
I think, would be to forgive. I didn't mean to be deep.
Wow.
But I
Yeah.
think having to forgive and constantly forgive again and again and again, not necessarily people, but I would speak very personally and say, like, with my whole father being absent in my life,
Yeah.
I feel like I'm constantly working a journey of forgiveness and reconciling that truth and making peace with it. So I feel like that journey of forgiving and another layer of forgiving and another one and making another peace and being okay with it again and okay, oh, I didn't know it was in that area again, shot, let me just release forgiveness. Because as soon as you start noticing areas where it's affected you, I started to get angry. So I'd be like, see if this I had to, like, you know, like but it's like actually then constantly I need to forgive when I encounter those things.
Yeah.
So I think that's one of the most difficult things I've had to do,
Yeah.
is to actually proper forgive. Not think I've forgiven, but I actually haven't. But I feel like that forgiveness definitely one of the most difficult.
Yeah, I think mine is like almost like a mix of yours, but it's sort of like in a way of like letting go of my plans for God's plans.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit of obedience and a little bit of forgiveness, because it's like obedience to like just doing, like walking through a door that He's opened, and then also in a sense forgiveness, like forgiving God for not doing things my way.
That's a real one.
Yeah, because it was like two, and we were also talking about this, there were like two instances, like when I was fresh out of college, like I got into a photography program in New York, and it just like it wasn't God's plan, so there wasn't a resource for it. And then I was like, okay, have a breakdown, get over it. Okay, cool, we're on the other side of it, great. I'm happy being here. And then the year after, I got into like an acting program in LA, and it was the same. It was almost like I was like, this is it, and then God was like, this isn't it yet. Like it's not.
Yeah.
While it was still in the wheelhouse of like what I felt like God had called me to, it was like, it almost took, the really difficult part was going, God, but I feel like you're opening these doors. And almost feeling like He's opening the doors, but then almost didn't follow through with it. It was like that forgiveness of going, okay, cool, God, even though I felt like it was you, it might not have been you. It might have just been opportunity. And He's like, you can do this, but not yet. So almost like a little bit that as well, of going like forgiving God, being obedient to Him.
Wow.
It's like a mix of that, of like, that was really difficult to go like, okay, His ways are genuinely higher than my ways.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think
That's cool. It is like a tricky spot, just navigating that area of being like, it's what I feel like God's gifted me to do, and this is what He wants me to do, but then it's like, not now.
Yeah.
Like, not that way.
Yeah.
And it's like, woo, like
exactly. And it's almost like He'll like take you, because I always picture every decision as a door, like an opening. So like a friend of mine once said this to me, they said, there's very few doors in life that you walk through that you can't walk back through. One of them is obviously like, what, in my conviction, marriage and having a relationship with Jesus. Like those are the doors you can't walk back. Once you've walked through them.
Yeah.
So I see every decision as walking through a door, and God bringing me to a door, and it's almost like in those circumstances you're like, but God, you brought me to the door. I'm standing at the door, and you're like, I just need the set of keys. He's like, but it's not time to unlock that yet. You're at the right door, like you're even in the right passage. But He's like, but you're not ready, or what's on the other side isn't ready for you to unlock it yet. So you just need the door's there, you know it's there.
And sometimes I feel like like it's like him allowing you to see the opportunity,
That's
close to it,
Yeah.
and it's like,
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
a whole preach.
come back.
Yeah. He's like, it's coming.
Yeah.
But either you're not ready for it or not now, or
Yeah.
but it's
They're making you aware
it's
of
coming. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like it's gonna be part of something,
it. Yeah.
just maybe not right now.
That's
Sure.
so cool.
Yeah.
It is.
Well, to even think that he would allow us, and it's almost him allowing us to see certain things, kind of helps us in preparing. It's
Yeah.
like what is to come,
Yeah.
or just be hopeful. What is to come.
Yeah. Totally.
So,
Mm.
I think this is a perfect segue to the next question, which is, what do you do when God says no? Because God, I love how you said
Yeah.
that you felt like He put the door in front of you,
Yeah.
but it didn't open. So that's him
Yeah.
saying no, pretty much,
Yeah.
or not right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's a thing of like, as Christians, I mean, obviously then I was a very different Christian than I am now, but I think looking back even now, well, even if I look at myself now, if I feel like God says no about something, I wish I was more gracious. Like, I wish I had more grace, and I wish I was more of the type of Christian I wanted to be when I felt like God said no. But I think it is that consistent thing of like beating down your flesh, not in a ritualistic way, do you know what I mean? Like, but there's this awesome verse, I can't remember where it is now, but it actually came up in a similar time of that, and it says, I strike my flesh and I make it my slave. And it's almost that thing of going like, it's not giving into, at that point when God says no, it's like, well, there's obviously something in our flesh that maybe would have, like if we had walked through that door, like we were saying, maybe our flesh would have won.
Yeah.
And God's like,
He loves you too much.
He loves
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. So it's like, I guess it's having a consistent perspective that like, his no is never actually no.
Yeah.
It's either there's something better
Yeah.
or just not right now.
Yeah.
Otherwise he would say yes. But
Yeah.
it's like his no actually really is a no, because we're never worse off listening to him
Yeah. That's true.
than listening to ourselves. So
That's true.
I think I would like to be more gracious, and all those things are what are in my head, but there is definitely a moment where I just want to like sulk and throw a temper tantrum and be like, I just want it my way,
Yeah.
because I know better,
Yeah.
obviously, than God, the creator of the universe.
Like definitely.
Yeah, so I think that's how I process it. It takes me like a day where I'm like, this is the worst thing ever, and then I'm like, okay, it's probably not the worst thing ever. God will do something better, either in this field or take me somewhere that will lead us to the same place but in a better way.
Yeah.
So I think that's fair. What
So
about you?
I was trying to think now like the moments when God has said no.
Yeah.
I think the first thing I've done is I've definitely cried.
Oh yeah.
Definitely cried. And then I would sit, I think that space of a no, when God says no, there's always signs everywhere around you
Yeah.
of what he's saying about the next.
Yeah.
So I think if I
That's very
recall
good,
and
yeah.
look back, every time I find myself in the spot where God says no,
Mhm.
there was something he was trying to say to explain the no.
Yeah.
And so I think if you like, when you find yourself in that space of a no, actually look around you or listen again. What has God been saying in my devotional time? What
Yeah.
songs has been actually speaking to my heart? What's God trying to say to me? What's been actually happening without me knowing? What messages God been trying to get to me?
Yeah.
And then obviously I will always try to sit afterwards and be like, okay, what are you saying yes to? What's the yes that I'm gonna step
Yeah.
into now? And then I try to find whatever that is through prayer and just listening again, or I'll just sit and go back to my devotionals and see
Yeah.
what I've been writing and see what I've been praying or the prayer requests I've had, and I'm like, how does that align with this no?
Yeah.
And then try and find where God is trying to say in the middle, because then that's the only way you can move forward into whatever he has.
Yeah. It's almost like that shift of perspective. It's like, no, I'm actually gonna focus on not what God isn't doing, but what he actually is doing. Yeah.
Because he is saying yes to something.
Yeah.
And so
That's true.
you don't want to get stuck in the fact that he said no. Then it's like,
Then you miss.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Then you
You
just
know?
stay there.
Yeah.
Like he said no.
so
So it's like, but I didn't say no, I said yes to something else. That's really good.
yeah.
That's awesome.
And you, T? What's up?
I think for me, yeah, I definitely cry.
Like,
So,
yeah.
I cry.
Yeah.
Currently, I'll cry, and then the next thing I'll do is praise, because I know
Praise.
Yeah, praise.
Not pray. Pray, obviously, but praise. Okay.
I'll praise, because I know there's a reason he's told me no, and I know he's still good even though he tells me no.
Yeah.
And then nextly, I will pray for the Holy Spirit to help me to surrender.
That's cool.
Because although my flesh doesn't want to, my flesh still wants what it wants.
Yeah.
I know what I have to do, but a personal story, I think a moment that I remember of when God said no, and I wasn't necessarily, like I was saved, but I wasn't
Save.
it was when it came to me graduating from college, and there was one class that I needed to pass to graduate. One class, one credit. And I took the finals and everything, failed the class, which is going to determine if I graduated or not.
Oh,
and
my.
so I was just like a
Devastating.
mess. I'm like,
Yeah.
I didn't came this far.
Like,
And I tried everything in my will to
Make it work.
fix
Yeah.
it. Wasn't happening. And so I remember
wow.
I drove off to Walmart's parking lot, and I was just like crying, like, God, what is going on here?
Yeah.
And I remember saying out loud, God, what did I say? It was like, God, what's my purpose? Like, I was like, God, what's my purpose? And he was like, my purpose is not what I can do for you, but it's what you can do for others. And in that moment of like being upset with him telling me no, he gave me the answer to
Yeah.
it was like almost like a wake up. Okay, you're wanting all of this for you. You wanted a relationship with me to see what I can do for you.
Wow.
But that's not even what this relationship is about. That's
Yeah.
not your purpose. That's not why you're here.
Sure.
So in
That
saying no, in saying no, there like he always, like you said, there's
Yeah.
always a yes to something else.
Yeah.
And so it's just sitting and it's sometimes bawling, crying, and asking
Yeah.
him why.
Yeah.
And he will answer. He
Yeah.
will
He's
answer
faithful
if
to
you sit with
answer.
him and
Mhm.
ask him. So yeah. But needless to say, I got my degree within like a month later. Well, thank you guys. That is it for today. Thank you guys for listening and joining us. We love when you guys comment and tell us what you want to hear next. So feel
Yes.
free, or please, pretty please,
Yes.
comment below and let us know what did you guys think and what you guys may be interested in hearing next.
Yeah.
We love to hear from you. Bye.
Bye.